Hello everyone, Reza here. In this video, I will show you how we can leverage the powers of the Power App MCP server as well as the Power Automate MCP server to build an end-to-end solution on the Power Platform by leveraging an AI coding agent of our choice. So let's check this video out in action. The scenario: I have an Office Visits SharePoint list. Users will submit Office visit requests. They will enter the title, the date of the visit, select the office location, the visitor, and then we have a status. Every new office visit submitted will trigger the approval. Based on the approver's response, the status would be updated accordingly. Now, to build this kind of a solution, I'll be leveraging the Power Platform ecosystem. I have this empty Canvas app that is connected to that SharePoint list. I can build this app by dragging, dropping controls, writing formulas, and more, but I will do it with the help of a coding agent. Microsoft has provided us a plugin marketplace for Claude Code or GitHub Copilot that provides Power Platform development plugins for building and deploying solutions. So if we look at the list of available plugins, my goal here is to build a Canvas app. So we have the Canvas app plugin that we can install from the marketplace. This is equipped with skills and tools that can help us in building the application. Even for me to build the Power Automate workflow, I will be leveraging the plugin available now for Power Automate. So I can take advantage of the skills and tools that allow us to build cloud flows. I'll be leveraging Claude Code. I have already installed the plugins for Power Apps and Power Automate. I'll say Canvas App MCP. The prerequisite is I need the app. It's a blank app that I've created. I've already connected it to my SharePoint list. Plus, under app settings, I have co-authoring turned on. With this, I can simply copy the URL of my Canvas app editor experience, and I'll provide this as context to Claude. At this point, it will call the Canvas app authoring MCP server and connect to my app's co-authoring session. Based on the URL, it was able to identify the environment, the app. Now it's connected to my existing Canvas app authoring session. What do you want to do with it? Let me describe. Build the app based on the Office Visits SharePoint list. One screen, a gallery showing my upcoming visits, sorted by date, and a form to book a new visit. Use modern controls. The Canvas app skill has been loaded. That skill includes multiple tools. Now it's going to interpret my input and start using the right tools that are available to build the YAML code for me. My coding agent is now planning the screen that I want to build for my app. So who uses this app and on what device? Is this for employees on a desktop experience? Do you want to build this for a mobile experience or mixed, any device? I'll select option number 3. How should my visits be determined? I mentioned that in the screen, there should be a gallery that shows my upcoming visits. So visitor column is equal to me, meaning filter where the visitor person column matches the signed in user, which is correct. In my SharePoint list, I have visitor as a person type column. How did it understand that context? Well, because it's connected to my authoring session, it understood the connected data source and its schema. So here I'll pick option number 1. Now I can choose the aesthetic direction of the app build. I'll choose option number 4, dense with compact rows, minimal chrome. Any extra things? I'll say just display a friendly message when there are no upcoming visits. I'll submit my answers. Now that I've provided my responses, Claude has provided the following plan. The Canvas app currently is empty. It saw there was a screen that has some empty placeholders, and it saw that there is a connected Office Visits SharePoint list. These are the columns and they are data types. Now it's going to create a working directory on my machine, and it's going to start building out a new screen based on the description that I provided. It will use the responsive layout. It will build a header bar, a body section, a booking panel. The formulas, gallery items will be delegable, filter and sort. It's also providing me the function. There will be a button to book the visit, which will then use the patch function. It's giving me full details of the context of what it would be building out for me. Say yes, go ahead, execute this and run this in auto mode. The Canvas app MCP server starts writing out YAML code. It's starting to push the updates out to my live Canvas app authoring session. Done. App generation complete. It's built out the screen for me. If I now head over to my app, it built out the entire home screen experience. It's added the gallery. It's written the formulas. That's Power Effects. If I preview, this is a responsive Power App. It's showing me my upcoming visits, plus it's allowing me to book a visit. The Book Visit button, when clicked, fires the patch command, the title, the visit date, the office location, and the visitor. It's not patching the status. In fact, the coding agent lets me know that I deliberately left status out so that patch applies the column's own default value. Status is a choice column. Default value is none. Now I can set my default here as pending, or I can let my coding agent know. Default the status to pending for all new bookings. And you can see how quickly it's gone in and made the updates. Here it is. Status, it's a choice column. It understands the full syntax. Value, pending. You can easily make changes to the code, build multiple screens, and do so much more thanks to the power of the Canvas app MCP server. Now let's preview the app and book a new visit. Company event. This will be on the 28th of August in the Redmond office. I'll book the visit. Done. Visit booked for August 28th for me as the visitor. The status, if you notice, is pending. The next thing that I want to build out is the approval process. Apps and flows better together. How about when the user books a visit, immediately at that point, it triggers an approval process. So I want to start a Power Automate workflow directly from this application itself. Back to my coding agent. Create a Cloud flow with a Power Apps trigger that accepts the visit title, date, and location. Send an approval to this individual. If approved, update the item status to confirmed. If rejected, set the status to declined. Notify the requester by email either way. Build this flow in this environment. I've put the name of the environment in which I've built my app. My goal is to call the flow from the app. Build me a Cloud flow with a Power Apps trigger. Because I also have the Power Automate plugin installed, Claude will utilize the Flow Agent MCP server to go and build out the workflow. It says, one gap to close before I build. The flow can't update the status without knowing which item to update. That's true. I'm just passing the title, the date, and the location. None of those uniquely identify a record in SharePoint. So what it's suggesting is you also add an item ID parameter, which is recommended. I will go ahead and accept that recommendation. Should the book button in the Canvas app call this flow? Yes. I'll submit my answers. The flow build is running in the background. The build of the flow finished. If I head over to Power Automate in that environment and go to My Flows, here is the Office Wizard approval workflow. This built by the Flow Agent MCP server. Check this out. When Power Apps calls the flow, it will send the following 4 inputs. First thing it does is it gets the requester's profile. So this uses the Office 365 users connector. Then it starts and waits for an approval process. Office Wizard approval, it puts the title. It's put the email address of the approver that I specified. It adds details of the wizard title, the wizard date. Also adds expressions to format the date in human readable format, as well as a direct link to the SharePoint form. Then it checks the outcome of the approval. If the approver said approve, then it sets the status to confirmed. Once it does that, it sends an email back to the requester. Your Office Wizard approval has been confirmed. If rejected, it sets the status to declined, and it sends an email out to the requester that your wizard has been declined. Once it does all of this, it's responding back to Power Apps with the outcome as well as the status. Now, when Power Apps calls Flow, the Flow has to respond to the Power App within 2 minutes. There's a problem right here. An approval task can take longer than 2 minutes. If I head back to my coding agent, yes, it created the flow. Now it says, I'll update the patch function. So it includes calling the flow. But then in order to do that, first, can you go and attach the flow in Power App Studio? So let's first do that. I know that I do not want this respond action here. So I'll go back to my Power App first, go to Power Automate and add that flow. Office Wizard approval. Now back here, I'll type something. So I'll pick option number 4. Done. I've attached the flow to the Power App, but the flow is sending a response back to the app. When flow called from Power Apps, it needs to respond within 2 minutes. The approval action would take a lot more time. So let's remove the response action from the flow. App will call the flow, which would start the approval process. We can show a message in the app that the approval process has started, and you will be notified via email of the response. Let's also add a refresh button in the app so the user can refresh the connected data source as and when needed so they can see the updated status. Now, if you think about it here, I'm asking it to make changes to both the app and the flow. My coding agent is equipped with both the MCP servers, and you can see that right here. It's calling the Canvas app MCP server, and it is calling the Flow Agent MCP server. It's going to work with both and make the updates. My workflow has been updated. It says it's removed the respond to Power Apps action. Let's first confirm that. In Power Automate, Office Wizard approval, if I edit this workflow, you can see how it's removed the respond to Power Apps action. Next, it's also updated the app. When the book wizard button is clicked, it's also triggering the workflow. Plus, it's added the refresh button that I asked. Here's the book wizard button. When this is clicked, it will patch a new record to SharePoint, and at the same time, it will trigger the connected workflow. Let's try this out. So I'll book a visit for Power Apps Workshop in Redmond. Once I click Book Visit, it will create the record and give me a notification that the approval process has started. Here it is. The flow got triggered, and it will now create an approval action for the approver. In this scenario, I am playing the role of the approver. The approver will receive an approval task via email. Here's a link to the record that the user submitted. You can see it directly takes me to SharePoint and shows me all the details. In the approval task itself, I have the details of the visit, the date, the location, who requested it. Now I can take my approval decision of approved or rejected right here. Once I submit my response, so once the approval action is completed, now the workflow will move ahead, update the status to confirmed. We can check that in the Power App itself now by simply refreshing Power Apps Workshop confirmed. And then the requester will receive a confirmation email. I am the person who requested it. So here's the email. Hi Reza, your office visit request has been approved and the status is now confirmed. One thing to note, the workflow that it creates, it's a flow that's triggered from the Power App. Run only user. I'll go to edit here. It uses the connection of the flow owner. Because the flow is being called from the Power App, I would want it to use the credentials of the user who is calling the flow from the Power App, whether it is to create the approval, send the email out, everything I would like to do under the context of the run only user. I'll save this. Done, the flow is updated. Back to the app. Since I made an update to the flow, safe side, I'll just refresh. Now that this is done, I'll publish my application. Published this version. Published successful. I'll click on share. Now I can share this with other users. I'll share this app with Sarah. Sarah signs into the app. Observe how it shows all the connections of the app and the flow. Sarah allows this. Annual company meeting on the 27th in Redmond. Let's book the visit. The workflow gets called. Reza gets the approval request. Let's just say Reza rejects this, submits his approval response. The approval is logged. Observe, the status is declined. And here is the email that Sarah receives. If you enjoyed this video, then do like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And thank you so much for watching.